wins the Ballon d'Or. He wins this best award. He's already won the best player award in the World Cup. He's already won the best midfielder, and he's already won the European Man of the Year. So this could be, and has anybody ever had a cleaner player like that? Alright guys, two main man here, double to that flipping H man. The best award for the best player of the given year. So of course this is of 2018 happening later this month. The nominees: Cristiano Ronaldo, Luka Modric, and Mohamed Salah. This is between two players, Mohamed Salah and Luka Modric. Those are the two players that it is really between. But I want to talk about all three players. So let's just get the one player who is not about. Cristiano Ronaldo had a very, very strong Champions League season. And I think, you have to say he was one of the contributing factors for Real Madrid getting into the final. If Cristiano Ronaldo is not there, Real Madrid do not make that. They probably do not make that Champions League final because his goals were fully crucial. And of course, scoring that amazing, incredible overhead kick against Juventus. In La Liga, he was a flop. And he flopped by not helping Real Madrid to even come top two. So actually, I think they finished in third, 2 places behind Barcelona, a lot of points behind. I think they were like 10 or 12 points behind Barcelona. So again, that didn't help him. And you're looking at, yes, he helped Real Madrid to get to the Champions League final. What did he do in the Champions League final? He didn't do much. He didn't do anything, and he disappeared yet again. Massive stage, big stage, and one of the other nominees was a very key reason in Real Madrid taking control of the game and dominating and giving them the platform in which to actually end up winning that game. So for Cristiano Ronaldo, I think that should he be nominated? Debatable. It is debatable for him to be not nominated because it's a tough one. It's a tough one whether I would nominate him or not, but at the end of the day, maybe he gets it because, again, you have to look at what Mbappe did at the World Cup, which was huge. What Varane did at the World Cup, which was huge. What Messi did in La Liga, which was huge. So these 3 guys made some huge things. And also, Godin also had a pretty strong showing for Atletico Madrid and for Uruguay as well. So maybe I think he gets it. It's, for me, he doesn't have a strong case. He doesn't have a strong case to actually be nominated because, again, the only case he has was that how well he played in the Champions League. How many goals did he score in La Liga? Did his goals help Real Madrid in key games for them to help win and get points in order to actually keep up the pressure for Barcelona? They got swiped and diced by Barcelona, and in the biggest game of the season, the Champions League final, he flopped. He did not show up. He completely did not show up. So let's move into who I think it's between. So let's look at Mohamed Salah. An absolutely outstanding, record-breaking season in the Premier League. It's going to be a long time until someone does what he did in the Premier League. Shocking. Absolutely incredible. Everything he touched turned to gold. And looking at the amount of goals he scored both in the Champions League and in the Premier League, he was one of the most outstanding players for Liverpool. It's not only his goals. And I think that's what separates Salah from Cristiano. It's not just Salah's goals. It's the kinds of goals this guy was scoring. This guy was scoring on a consistent basis amazing, amazing goals. Like, there's one amazing tweet that's out there where basically they do a little comparison where, like, a guy says that, how can I explain to my kids that Salah scored with 5 guys all around him and Lukaku and Sanchez missed an open goal? So we just look at the kind of things that he did. It was amazing. So not only did he break the goal scoring record in the Premier League, he also scored very crucial goals in the Champions League as well. And again, with the Champions League final, through no fault of his own, he was not able to really show what he could do in the biggest game because, of course, he got injured. But before he got to the Champions League final, he scored some very important, very crucial goals. And I think one of the best goals he scored was the one against Man City at the flipping Etihad when they were under pressure, which was a key goal that really helped them to push forward. And again, that was a very key game because they were going up against a team that just destroyed the Premier League totally. So Salah's chances, I think Salah's chances are strong based on his Premier League showing and his showing in the Champions League. I think to break a record like that for your domestic league and one of the top leagues in the world, puts you as a strong favorite. So there's a very strong argument there. What counts against him is the World Cup. That's the one thing that counts against him. But I think that as much as the World Cup counts against him, you have to take into account he was playing for Egypt. You've got to take into account that he was coming in with an injury. But you've also got to say, yes, he didn't really have a great showing at the World Cup. He did what he could. His exceptional season for Liverpool cannot be overlooked. It cannot be overlooked. And then we then go to Luka Modric. A player who, for the past 2-3 years, has been 1, 2, 3 of the best central midfielders in the world. But I think this was really the season in which he said, you know what, I'm taking this to the other level. For Real Madrid, yes, he didn't do enough to help them win the league. But again, a lot of people say this argument that, oh my gosh, what did Modric do? He got outplayed, and it was really Cristiano that's pretty much won the game for them in Real Madrid. Those are people that don't play football. I repeat, you cannot win a football game if your midfield doesn't work. That doesn't happen. Not being biased because of me when I used to play central midfield. The central midfield is the most important position in football. It is. Like, everything's even of different importance. But if somebody was to say to me, like, just say to me, give me an argument, because every position is important, but just give me an argument. What would you say is the most important position in football? I'd say is a central midfielder, because that's the guy that is required to defend, required to attack, and he is the link between the defense and the attack. The strikers can't score without supply and delivery. The strikers cannot get opportunities and get chances if they don't have a control of the game. And the control of the game comes from the midfield. The midfield gives the strikers a platform in which to score goals and winning games. And the midfield is there to relieve the pressure from the defense, because the more that the midfield keeps the ball, keeps possession of the ball, the less defending that the defenders have to do, and the less chance that a team has to score goals, and the more chance you have of winning and not conceding. So Modric, and for me, like, Toni Kroos is a quality midfielder. Get Toni Kroos in a private room and he will say, I play to Modric's team. Modric is the better midfielder from me. I am there to support Modric. I can't do this on my own. Modric is the far superior midfielder. He's the guy that can get out of trouble. He's the guy that can really find that pass. He can be the guy that finds space where no one can see the pace. He's the guy that can spread play. And he's the guy that can score some very, very nice G's as well. So that's for Real Madrid. And then you have to look at the Champions League. First half, it was close, and I think Liverpool did really, really well, especially with Salah coming off. They did really, really well to hold Real Madrid. But in the second half, the quality shone through, and you saw Modric completely and totally take over the game. And the reason in which Real Madrid were able to win that game was the platform Modric gave them. Modric, he kept the ball. He forced Liverpool to do a lot of running, tired them out, psychologically wore them out because of how well he was keeping the ball and how he was forcing them to really chase shadows. That gave Real Madrid a psychological mental boost, meaning that we are in the ascendancy here. We can attack more. We can push up more. We can put a lot more pressure. Liverpool had less of the ball psychologically. They were strained and they were under pressure. And that gave them Real Madrid the platform just to open them up, open the space up and get the goals needed for them to win that game. And Modric, for me, was arguably the best player on the pitch come that second half. So it was a very key reason why Real Madrid were able to win that specific game. The World Cup. Sorry, guys, it's the biggest competition in the world. Sorry, I know you want to say the Champions League, but I'm sorry, the fact is the fact. The World Cup is the biggest competition in the world. Croatia have 6 people that live in the country. I checked. They have a population of 6 people, and I know 3 of them. For a country that small to get to a World Cup final is an incredible achievement. I think the only country smaller to reach a World Cup final or even win it, I believe, is Uruguay. But somebody, give me a fact check. Which has a larger population, Croatia or Uruguay? Give me a fact check. Or rather, who had the bigger population? Uruguay when they won the World Cup, or Croatia when they got to the World Cup final as of 2018 now? And Croatia were good quality. For me, I think it's Dalic. Dalic should win Manager of the Year. If Deschamps wins Manager of the Year, that is complete and utter crap. Dalic should win Manager of the Year because he had a coaching masterclass in how he was able to get these boys through. But there's a reason why Modric was given the Golden Ball. There's a reason why he was voted the best player at the World Cup, because he defined Croatia. He defined them. And he really urged them through. He had... Let me think. Can we all agree that he had the best individual performance in a game in the match against Argentina? I mean, Hazard against Brazil, maybe, or against France, Mbappe against Argentina, maybe. But you know what I'm going to say? Like, okay, give me a better one. I believe that the best individual performance in a game was Modric against Argentina in that group game, because what he totally destroyed them, and he capped it off with an absolutely outstanding goal. But even if he got tired and he grew fatigue, he was always able to slowly get himself back in the game, always able to get on the ball and just give Croatia that extra lease of life by releasing them, giving those balls and those passes, you know. So Modric was a massive reason why Croatia were able to get the World Cup final. Croatia do not sniff a World Cup final without Luka Modric. So taking that all into account, between Modric and Salah, when you just weigh both things, Champions League, domestic thing, and it is a World Cup season, so the World Cup as well, I think Modric wins it, because what Modric did in the World Cup, what he did domestically, and what he did in the Champions League altogether was better than Salah. Salah had a outstanding domestic campaign, and his domestic campaign, basically Salah's domestic campaign is better than all three. Salah had the best domestic campaign of all three. The best Champions League, it's between Cristiano and Modric, because Cristiano for helping them get to the final, Modric for being a crucial part of them getting to the final, but also having a masterclass and being the man of the match in that Champions League final. But when it comes to the World Cup, there's only one dude. Speaking of Cristiano, I did not forget. Cristiano scored, I think, 4 goals in the World Cup. That's good. Did he play well? Was he a constant threat over 90 minutes? Was he constantly influential over 90 minutes? No. So, when I just say that, did Cristiano play well at the World Cup? He showed up to a degree, but I wouldn't say he played well. I wouldn't say he was he was not one of the best players at the World Cup. When I think of the best players at the World Cup, he doesn't even feature on the list. Although I give him credit for that incredible showing against Spain. But for Modric, I think for World Cup, he wins it. He wins it clearly because he took his team all the way to the flipping World Cup final. All the way. Portugal, for better or for worse, you got knocked out in the second round. You know, first game out in the second round, you got that ass beat by Uruguay thanks to Cavani. But Modric, he held his boys all the way all onto the final, held their nerve in 2 penalty shootouts and everything. So I think that Modric should clean up. And I think he should really have a year where Modric wins the Ballon d'Or. He wins this best award. He's already won the best player award in the World Cup. He's already won the best midfielder, and he's already won the European Man of the Year. So this could be, and has anybody ever had a clean-up plan like that? Has anybody ever had a clean sweep like that? Because he should have a clean sweep. Like literally, Modric should have a 1,000% clean sweep all the way of all the individual awards. And if he does, which he should, again, I don't know, there are politics involved, but if he should, has anybody ever done that before? Drich, you're the man. Thank you for watching this video. Think about pledging and become a Half Football Hot patron. Pledge an amount each month and gain access to exclusive videos from your boy, the Football Hot, for more analysis. Peace.